Well, if you guys knew Amy, this is a new experience for me. I actually get a chance to talk. Wow. There's a whole bunch of you out there. Well, we've had a lot of wonderful stories, so I'll keep this brief because this is supposed to be a party, right? But I'm going to share a little bit of dirt because we've all had some wonderful stories. Forgive me if I have to read this. It's the only way I can get through it all. For those of you that didn't make the ceremony yesterday, wow, what a wonderful and powerful and beautiful ceremony that was. Go ahead, yeah. She wouldn't have had it any other way. That was exactly right up her alley. That was the ceremony of the ages. And the father talked to me and he said, a couple times I think you guys heard him, somebody pinched me, we filled the house. He said, I haven't filled the house like this since Christmas or Easter. But here's what he asked us, for those of you that weren't there. He said, remember the good that was Amy, and he challenged everybody to take this opportunity to be more like her, to love more and to give more, to be closer to God. He reminded all of us that the first question God is going to ask all of us when our time comes is not our religious belief or our denomination, but how much we've loved. And then everything else follows from there. Kind of weird for me, but I've been asked by a lot of people to restate the eulogy that I gave for those people that weren't there. I didn't know how I felt about that. It was the son of a gun to get through the first time. But I will attempt it quickly, and that way you guys who weren't there can get an idea of what was said when we were there. I said this wasn't going to be your typical eulogy. Amy wasn't your typical woman. Oh, Amy. My precious Butterfly. Butterfly is a nickname I gave to her July 27th, 2010 at exactly 12:19 in the morning, 4 short days after meeting her online, and weeks before I'd ever even set eyes on her. In 4 short days of just emailing and texting and instant messaging, I already knew what I had. Butterfly became the theme of not just our wedding and invitations, but of our lives together. We vowed to allow each other to spread our wings and fly peacefully, to develop ourselves to the fullest, and to spread joy and beauty to touch souls. That's why Amy loved the theater so much. But Amy had been touching souls long before I met her. She'd been doing that for years. I had a difficult life before Amy, and my Butterfly showed me how to love again, how to trust again. She healed me. She healed my 4 children. She even healed my parents. There's a lot about Amy and I that nobody really knew. As free-spirited and playful as we might have appeared to the outside world, everything we did had deep and intense meaning for us. Amy wasn't just any common butterfly. She was my blue morpho butterfly. That's a species. I chose to represent her on our wedding invitations as a blue morpho because they are native to South America, Brazil, where Amy's mother was born and where Amy actually has the most family to this day. She was so grateful to be able to visit all of them last summer. We saved and saved and saved, and I told her it was really important to get back and see family because you never know when one of them might pass away. Go figure, it was Amy. And of the hundreds of species of butterfly, the blue morpho is one of the most sought after and collectible of them all. Even the name itself, morpho, comes from an ancient Greek epithet, roughly translated as the shapely one. For Aphrodite, goddess of love and beauty, and Amy sure did look fantastic in turquoise and blues. My wife Amy was one of the most beautiful overall women to have ever walked the face of this earth. Perfect inside and out. Gorgeous, intelligent, loving, generous, humble, kind, supportive, considerate, passionate, respectful, appropriate, funny, silly, and playful, easygoing, consistent, trustworthy, loyal, and faithful, positive, spiritual, an angel on loan from God. Amy had this amazing way of lighting up a room the moment she entered it, that infectious smile. Oh, that smile. As most of you know, we met on Match.com. Her online name, Smiley One. I really struggled to come up with a eulogy to describe her life. She was so much to so many and different to all. Her very nature was a nurturing seeker, which is why she touched so many, why so many were touched by her. So since Amy was so personal with all of you, in different ways, rather than me telling you about her, I'm going to read to you what Amy said about herself. This is a synopsis from her own online personal on Match.com. Here's what Amy had to say. I love spending time with my 2 girls. What a surprise. And love them like crazy. We go down to the river, cook, swim, dance, sing, walk, and take trips. I enjoy going new places and meeting new people, the theater, music, dance, and anything to do with water. If I go to the lake, I'll be the first one in. And I'm an energetic, optimistic, loving person who loves life. Life is too short to let little things get me upset. I want to play. I want to be thrown in the pool and be tickled until I'm begging for mercy. I did both of those. But I also love to cuddle up on the couch by a fire and watch a movie, and I love a good hugger. Sound like Amy? Yeah. What a woman, what a mother, what a wife, what a friend. God, I miss her, and I know we all miss her. Fly free, butterfly. And that was my eulogy. I called Amy Butterfly because she just seemed to float around softly and beautifully, gracefully touching souls here and there, like a butterfly lands on leaves and flowers. What really attracted me to Amy was how at 40, she still saw the world through the eyes of a child. And my greatest concern was that somehow, because of the life I had led and the experiences I had had, somehow I was going to clip her wings by accident. Luckily, that didn't happen. But I was working on helping her be a little less naive. Speaking of naive, I want to share a video clip with you and a little story about Amy. I hope they're getting ready on the video clip. How many of you have seen the 1989 movie Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze? Did you know Amy was in it? Yeah. I'm going to show you a clip from that movie with Amy that describes her naivety, and I'll share a little story about that clip. You guys have it ready?
You know, I get off at 2, and I just love to get you off about a half an hour after that.
So that was her in Roadhouse. Non-speaking role, but good just the same. She shared with me later that she had absolutely no idea what that guy was talking about.
She was only 18.
19 at the time. Lied to get in there because it was a bar scene. You had to be 21. So, oh my goodness. And there was a line right after that we missed, and the guy says, "My God, you're put together, woman." What a jerk, but I got to believe that I agree with him. I mentioned in the eulogy there was a lot about Amy that nobody really know. Here's one that's probably going to shock everybody. I have in my hand. Do you guys know that she was in Playboy? Oh yeah. May 1989. It's going to cost you guys each $1 to see. Now relax, it's not what you think. Actually, they published a picture of the whole Roadhouse crew to publicize it, and she was in it. But how cool is it to say when she was in Playboy, right? I could have heard a pin drop in here, that was awesome. Oh my goodness. Actually, one of my favorite Amy stories is the time that she had to go to a Madera County meeting. Recently, actually, and it was one of those meet and greet meetings where you get together with all the new employees and you kind of share stories so you all get to know each other as employees. And so they sat around this huge conference table. The majority of people knew Amy for years, but there were a lot of new people there. And they played this little game. And it was, tell me 3 things about yourself, one of which isn't true. You have to figure out which one's not true. So here's sweet little Amy. It's her turn. So her 3 things, she says, 1, my mother was born in Brazil. Okay. Number 2, I've been skydiving. And number 3, I was in Playboy.
Oh my God.
And again, she'd been working at the county a long time. A lot of people knew her really well, but you could have heard a pin drop. because she had to reveal that the thing that wasn't true was that she'd been skydiving. So when the shock value reached that, oh wait a minute, that leaves the other one. It was a pretty good time. As many of you know, Amy and I met on Match.com. See, it actually does work. But I almost didn't meet Amy at all. On Match, the system sends out what at the time they called the Daily 5, which I guess the 5 top matches based on a variety of categories. On the list of categories, one of them were, one of the attributes were how many kids you each have. And so the options that you have to check on there when you're filling out your profile is 1, 2, 3, and then there's 4 or more. So I clicked 4 or more because I have 4 kids. And she looked at that, apparently, and said, 4 kids or more? Oh, heck no. How many kids does this guy have? And with how many women? So she deleted my ass. Didn't even give me a chance. Luckily, she read my letter, and the rest is history. That was that close. Amy really knew how to love. Since Amy was so personal with all of you, I want to share something really personal about us. And a moment that she and I had together as an example of just how loving this woman was. And then let's get to the party. July 1, 2011. Right before that, I had just expired my lease in my rental home in Clovis, and I had decided that I'm going to move in and marry this woman. And so I literally left my old house and my old life and got on a plane and went to Dallas for a custody battle. Not a pretty thing with an ex. And I came home, but when I came home to a new house and a new place in Oakhurst. And when I arrived, because Amy knew what I'd been through, she knew I'd always been on eggshells with my ex. And when I got to the house, there's this little, I don't know, archway. And there was a trash can sitting in the archway. And there were 15 eggs hanging from the archway that she had emptied and put notes into. And there was a note hanging there. I'll read that to you. It's this note right here. Jeff, crack open each egg. Read the note. Take a moment to say goodbye to the contents which represent your former existence and the eggshell that surrounds it. Crush the eggshell, crumple the note, and when you're done with them and all they represent, toss them in the trash. Then come to the front door because your new life and I await very impatiently. Sobbed like a baby. The woman knew how to love. Obviously, look at this group. I could go on and on, but my message to all of you tonight is to cherish each other and love everybody. Take the time for friends and family. Don't wait until tomorrow to say something, for tomorrow may never come. And none of us know how long we have here on earth. I'm actually at peace because there was nothing left unsaid between Amy and I. If you have something you've been meaning to say to a friend or a loved one, or something you have been wanting to do with somebody, like go to lunch, or Tim play around at golf, whatever, do it. Do it now. Take a look around you, see how many people Amy touched in some way. She loved you all. I love you all. Let's honor her by going out there tomorrow and loving more. Let's hear it for Amy. Fly by the